Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me? We haven't done one of these in a very, 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 very long time. I'm just trying to sort a couple of things out. Just give me a second. Cool. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the first Squawk with Swoop for 2023. Yeah, we like I said, we haven't done one of these for so long. And I thought I just want to jump on here. We've got a lot of days until the next game. It's on Tuesday. Yeah, just want to have a chat. We'll bring a couple of people on as well, so we can chat to you because that's what these used to be. Yeah, but it's been a hectic season. 4-1, which is absolutely amazing. Now we play second place Essendon, and it is it is exciting. It is scary, especially with all these injuries. We'll talk a little bit more about the injuries and Taylor Adams and what that means. My preview video for the game comes out tomorrow, and my I should have an opposition views coming out in a couple of days, and then I've got another sort of Anzac inspired video coming out on the weekend, and then we'll go into the game. So look, I'll post the link if you want to jump on and have a chat, because that's what this is all about, if not just me. So let's see if I remember how to do this. If you want to jump on, have a chat, talk about it. Someone said they like my jersey. I got this in Bali. I think it's Miami Heat. I like the colors, which I thought were really cool. Nicholas Allen says, will oh my god, tongue twister. Will Kelly replace Nathan Murphy? Possibly. I know Will Kelly, they're playing him off the sort of the wing, in that sort of midfield role, off halfback as well. So maybe Will Kelly does need a shot in the seniors, because it could, I don't know, like he's such an enigma. He's been injured all this time. It could be his last go. I think his contract expires at the end of this year, so could be his last go to give it a go. He's definitely not one of those lockdown Jeremy Howe, Darcy Moore sort of defenders either. So maybe it's that Murphy position, but we'll see. Oops. Hey Taylor, how you going? Nathan Couchy says, "Hey mate, how crucial do you think this Dan McStay injury is going to be?" I think McStay is such a crucial cog to this Collingwood team. Not only because he might not have kicked 10, 15 goals. I think I had him for 40 goals at the start of the season. But I think what he does is he helps Brody Myercheck out. He's another big guy up forward. Like I said, we haven't had two big guys like this up forward since Travis Cloke and Chris Dawes. You could argue Jesse White as well, but I'm not going to argue that. So he creates that contest, brings it to ground. He can take a really good mark. Yes, he hasn't kicked a lot of goals. Excuse me. But he's so important for the structure of the team. And even with no ruckman, him going down now means that we've got to have Frampton either full-time ruck, like we saw against St Kilda, or it means that we've got to bring Kruger in, who is absolutely underdone, to now play that ruckman role where he doesn't usually sort of do that, and we'd rather him forward. So look, it sucks, right? It sucks. He'll keep running like someone, OK Boomer, just said. He can run, he can do everything, but except for he can't handle a football until about 6 weeks in.
I found these results on search.
What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? What the fuck was... Did you guys hear that voice just pop up? It scared the shit out of me. There's no one else in the house. Huh. God damn, it scared the bloody crap out of me. Sorry, that's all right. Oh my Jesus Christ! Goosebumps. I thought I was getting haunted by a fucking ghost. All right. Anyway, let's get Ultimate Greatness on because I need a chance to chill out. But yeah, pretty much that was my damn McStay story before I got scared shitless. All right. Hey, UG, how you going, mate?
Yeah, doing right yourself?
Yeah, not too bad after I got shit scared just then.
Yeah. Well,
What's
at
up?
least we know we don't have to call anybody because Ghostbusters.
Ghost, yeah, bloody hell.
Could have been on call.
Tell me, mate,
Yeah.
how have you seen this season?
I mean, ironically for me, everything's basically gone to plan. A lot of things I've been saying this year has pretty much already happened. I think someone did a first six. It was like Fox Sports or something like that. I had us 5-1 with us
Yep.
losing to Brisbane.
Yep.
So that's theoretically, if we obviously win tomorrow, then that's basically I was going to say told the time, but that's not right. I've basically forecast the future pretty much. So
Yeah.
but no, we're tracking well, all things considered, and and just happy to see probably Kruger get a game because we're probably not far away from seeing him too.
So what do you think going forward with all these injuries? How do you think? Well, I guess the immediate future. How do you think Anzac Day sort of plays out?
Yeah, so it's actually been pretty interesting over the last, at least like for me, for like the last 12 months because I've been a lot more active on like Twitter and things like that in terms of like what I have been previously. So I'm a lot more aware of information than I actually probably was. So I'm hoping obviously Cox can get up, but if he can't, then obviously we've got Adelaide and then obviously the games after that. But no, I mean it seems like we're gonna do Kruger, Frampton, and AJ as the three rocks, and probably just rotate them to the. So they're not all doing like a full time sort of like system.
Agreed.
And I'm just sort of keen to get. I'm just sort of keen to just get Kruger into it because I've pretty much been on his sort of bandwagon for a while now.
You have,
and,
you have definitely.
I think if you take out the injuries, I feel like we've got. And again, someone's probably gonna take this out of context or whatever. Or sorry, we'll just think that it's a bit exaggerated, but I actually don't like I do feel like he's the closest thing that we've had to a Travis Cloak and since Travis Cloak.
Kruger?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think his only issues is that he basically gets injured and probably maybe his intensity is a bit maybe too much for his own good, but no, I really do rate him. There's even like a few other guys in the VFL that are coming through. It's like a Finn. He's actually coming through pretty well. Rusco is another favorite of mine too. I always seem to really like these guys that are sort of fringes.
So let's just touch on that for a second. So in my preview, that'll come out tomorrow. I touch on Rusco being one of my 4 inclusions, and I talk about how he's not. Well, we can't really replicate Nathan Murphy, right? He is his own. He does his own sort of thing, and you there, Eugene? You look frozen. Oh, he's disappeared. Dude? Yep. You're on mute now. Technical difficulties. Can you? Nah, can't hear you, man. Still on mute. Nah. All right. Hey, UJ, I'll come back to you. Sort it out. We'll come back to you. All right. So look, may as well just quickly say, I'll post that link. I'll post that link again. May as well just quickly say what I was just about to say. Then I've got Trey Rusco as one of my 4 inclusions for next week. So pretty much is what I mean is you can't replicate Nathan Murphy's courage, running back with the flight, his intercepts. You're not going to find that, especially in the VFL. We don't have a player like that. I just want Rusco to come in, just play his role, just play that defending role. He's been smashing it in the VFL. I've never really truly rated him as someone that's going to crack into the best 22 and kind of stay there, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. And yeah, just fingers crossed. All right. We're going to get one of my favorites on, who I haven't spoken to for, 6 months, Manny. Let's give thumbs up, mate, if you're ready to go. Beautiful. Manny.
There he is, mate. The Swoop star.
He's
there
back.
you go, buddy.
You yeah, good.
What's happening? Where you been, bro?
I know. It's just so hard to. I live
now that the diamond's been made, you should be on 24/7, bro. We're playing killer footy.
I know, mate. I know. We're doing really well. How you been, mate? How you seeing this season?
Oh, mate. What else could you ask for?
Yeah.
Great start. Great system. We know how to change. We know how to change styles. See, this week we pulled back the style. We went more defensive.
Yep.
And last week we lost the game because of our defensive structure. If we kept the defenders back, that game was ours against Brisbane.
Brisbane. Yep.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Look,
see my surname. See my surname on your screen.
Dacos. There we go. He is.
Oh, mate.
You've been singing his praises since we started talking, mate.
Another
guy that you love is Ash Johnson. You said you grew up.
Oh.
You grew up. You've watched him, and he's been smashing it. He's done exactly what we needed him to do.
I grew up watching Ash Johnson in Sturt. I grew up watching McCreary up south. I grew up watching. Yep. I've been watching Noble, South Adelaide as well. All the South Aussie boys, mate. We've got about 10 of them in the side.
Yeah, and they've been smashing it, mate.
And they don't want to go home like little pussy. What's his name? What's his name there, Mr. What's his name?
Ollie Henry.
Oh yeah, that muppet.
Yeah.
See, yeah, he's gone as well.
Yeah.
What are you liking? What are you liking?
Look, I'm loving the way that with all these injuries that we've had, we've been able to keep going. Craig McRae always says it's the next man up, and we've just been able to take a piece out, put a piece back in, and we're still that well-oiled machine. And like we're 4-1. Like that's what I said at the start of the season, and it's an absolutely amazing first 5 rounds. It's really exciting.
Hey, bro, if you see the carry on in here, right, when the TV's on, the carry on, when we start playing that run and gun footy, bro. Hey, what kind of footy is that, bro? That's champagne footy.
It is.
See the way
see
how connected we are, mate. See the run from behind. Buckley cost us 3-4 years, mate, of that defensive crap. If you watch Carlton, right? Carlton is doing what we were doing in 2017-18 and 19.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And 19.
I agree. This new style, this Russian roulette footy, is beautiful. And like you said, you touched on that Brisbane game. People don't realize that. Yes, we lost by 4 or 5 goals or whatever it was, but we had more scoring shots than Brisbane. They only, like you said, they only won because they were able to get out because we were playing too quick. We were playing too quick. We just didn't pull it back, and then we corrected it against St Kilda the week after.
Well, put it this way, bro. Danaher doesn't score a goal for 5 weeks. Cameron scores 1 goal for 5 weeks, right? Hipwood can't kick goals. All of a sudden, they're kicking 5, 6 each. You know why? Because their defenders were too high up.
Yeah.
They'll break in our system in the midfield, right? Popping the handball over, and because our defenders were too high up, there was no coverage. Yep. You can't play like that. But this week here,
I agree.
This week here, I was watching from the first bounce, right? Our defenders were holding right back. You could see there was a one time they scored a goal over the back. The only one was that Caminiti, right? That scored one from over the back, right? But he cost us Murphy. So what I reckon is going to happen is they're gonna pull Frampton out of the. And you know what?
Right.
I'll say a few things about Frampton, but you I have to give you credit because you backed him in, right?
I
And you
did.
said you backed him in. I was watching your previous. You backing him in, and I was thinking to myself, but I've watched this bloke in the Sandpool here in South Australia, and I was saying maybe Swoop's onto something. And you know what? You're right, bro. He got into a better system, right? And a better coach, right? And he's playing good footy. So I reckon that they're gonna pull Frampton back, right? And they're gonna put Freddie Kruger, right, into the ruck.
It has to. And like you said about. So go ahead.
Yeah, Freddie's played defence in Geelong before. They put him behind the ball. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
He knows how to play defence as well. So I reckon either Freddie Kruger goes back, right, and then Johnson and Moichik stay in the front half, right, or they leave Frampton back, right, because we've got to deal with Draper and the other Francis bloke. So I reckon they're going to bring Kruger in, and I reckon the back line that saves our back line because that way we don't have to bring Rusco in because Rusco's not bad on the ground, but his overhead marking's not that good.
Yeah, that's the kind of knock I have on Roscoe too. Let's just touch on Billy Frampton for a second. We I guess a lot of people, even me at some point, had some sort of doubt, but we know that he was never going to be like a Jacob Wiedering or like a Sam Taylor or these sort of Darcy Moore sort of players. He needed to do a job, and the thing I love about Craig McRae is that he can get anyone on the list to come in to the 22 and do the job that they need to do. They know they're role players, but we usually say that they're just role players. They're just doing here and there. But these role players are playing their role to not only their limit, but over their limit. They're all playing for Craig McRae, and everyone. You can't. There's games where no one has a bad game. Will Hoskin-Elliott might only have 5 touches, but he's running down, he's creating pressure, and you don't see these things.
He plays a role.
You don't see these things on stats. Exactly. You don't get AFL fantasy points for playing your role. And that's what a lot of people don't see, and something that we need to I'm trying to address through my posts and stuff like that. But how do you think the Anzac Day game's going to go, mate?
Well, Billy Frampton's starting to rebound the off the back 50 now. He never used to do that before. He's starting to, as soon as he gets a mark, he starts rebounding.
Yep,
he's a whole different Billy Frampton, right?
It is.
What's going to happen Anzac Day? We're gonna have a few ins. That's all right. We lost Adams, but we're getting Geordie back. He's fit.
Yep.
Geordie's coming in. So Geordie for Adams, right? Who else are we missing? Kruger comes in for Murphy.
For Murphy, yeah.
They'll swap. They'll pull Frampton back and they'll pull Kruger in the ruck. And who else? Dan
McStay.
Dan McStay. So who do we bring in for that? Him.
Look, I don't even think there's a
Reef?
like for like. I think
Reef?
I don't know. Like Reef, he does a lot in the VFL. Doesn't do a lot in the AFL though. I still think we bring in Finn McRae. Have 2 midfielders. And have Ash Johnson just stay permanently in the forward line.
Well, Ginny's going to be back in form.
And Ginny's back in form, yeah.
And this bullshit, right, about Nick Dacos getting easy ball, it's all bullshit. I watched Jared Healy, right, SEN, he lost the plot, right? Nick Dacos is averaging the most contested possessions out of any defender in the league, right?
Yep.
Now, he's getting his contested possessions, right? The problem is he's running that hard, right? That's why he's getting the running receives from the other players. Mate, you've got to work to get those balls. How do you think other defenders aren't getting those stats? Because they're not running hard enough.
Yeah.
And we want our Ferrari cruising down, right? What's that street called there in Melbourne Street? Where all the restaurants are there.
Lygon Street.
Yes, Lygon Street. We want Nick Dacos, right? Hey, back into there. You know what? And how's Josh as well? We'll give some love to Joshy boy as well.
Josh has. It's like playing with his brother has just made him even better because he was always good. He's finally starting to come off it, and off that wing, he nearly had an All-Australian year last year. Might not get All-Australian a year this year, but his form has been scintillating. They had like 70 disposals between them last week.
Yeah, guns. But Nick's our quarterback.
Yep.
He's been told by Craig, you give him the ball, right, and he hits targets. Simple.
Yep.
Absolute machine. Remember we were talking about a year and a half ago?
Yeah, we were.
And you said wait till Nick Dacos comes in, because we knew. We had a feeling, bro. We had a feeling.
Yeah.
We're Collingwood. We got Collingwood blood. We know Collingwood footy.
Yeah.
We know, mate. We know.
100%. Manny,
All right,
it's been fun having you on, mate.
Give me a tip for Anzac Day.
Man, I think it's gonna be close. I have Collingwood by 4 points, under a goal.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna smash them.
I've got Collingwood by 20 points.
That's good. If we can win by 20 points, fuck. If we can win by 20 points, I'll send you an Uber Eats voucher.
5-1. Then we're coming back to Adelaide, right? I've got my daughter that weekend. I can't go. I've got my daughter again, but we'll give it to Adelaide. Watch. We'll give it to Adelaide. We'll be 6-1, brother.
Matty, I fucking hope so, mate. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Do more shows, Red. Do more shows,
I will. I promise, mate. I will.
Well, Carlton Dread's doing shows. They're getting pumped at the moment. The same old Carlton.
I know.
All right, bro.
Thanks,
See you, bro.
Thanks, Matty. See you, mate.
See you,
Bye.
bro.
Bye. All right. Nath, you ready to go, mate? Thumbs up if you're ready to go. Beauty. All right. Mic's off, mate. Mic's on mute. Still on mute, mate.
Can you hear me now, mate?
Yes. How you going?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. How you feeling with the start of the season?
Mate, it's been an unreal start to the season. Absolutely. Just, 4-1. Hopefully we can, get another win on our arch enemies, the Bombers.
Tell me about it.
It's been an unreal start to the season. So hopefully, it'll be a great win. Great win if we can knock the Bombers off.
What's been your highlight this season?
Oh, mate, highlight. I personally reckon beating Geelong in round 1 was a massive, massive highlight. Like, to be honest, I came in and thought, I didn't have many expectations for round 1. Didn't know how, our new recruits would go with Bobby Hill and Tommy Mitchell. And I can see, over your social media and, how much credit you've given Tommy Mitchell for the first 5 rounds. And I say to all Collingwood supporters, if we had Tom Mitchell in the preliminary final against the Swans, where we got absolutely smashed in centre clearances and just could not win it out of the middle, I think we would have, made it to the big dance. So, yeah.
Oh, 100%, 110%. What he's done to the club. I don't know if you saw my post today, but on Champion Data, from last year's stats, Tom Mitchell's ball use has gone up 153%. So he's using the ball 153% better than he was last season. And that's not just clearances. That's the style of play we're playing, inside 50s, ground ball gets, just normal disposals. He's only averaging 24 disposals now, which is his lowest since 2015 or something. But what he's been able to do to this team is just, it's incredible, unreal. Right? It's incredible. Go ahead.
It's making players like Scotty Pendlebury that really at 33, 34 years of age that is pretty should be close to retirement. It's just making him look so much better. Taylor Adams on the weekend looked absolutely amazing. It was just that he's just making Geordie to go. He just look so much better. The confidence in the middle he's giving these players is unreal, and I'm loving it.
Well, it's exactly right. Like you said, we got smashed in the clearances against Sydney, and the team said we need to fix clearances. Let's get the best clearance player in the game. Richmond did it before 2017 or whenever it was, and they said we need a big key forward. Excuse me. They go out and get Tom Lynch. You address your needs. Like that was the thing with Buckley for so long, and that administration. We didn't address our biggest need, which was a big key forward. We never,
Yep.
we was close to Tom Lynch, and then we fucked that up. And that's what in the end, that's what stuffed us. But now we see what we need, we go for what we need. We need another key forward.
Exactly.
Just talks about us getting Ben King. It's a different club now, and it's we're on a really good trajectory.
And that's exactly, you took the words right out of my mouth. And also, as I say to all the fellow Collingwood supporters, Tommy Mitchell, Bobby Hill, Dan McStay, Billy Frampton, they're not A-grade players, but they're the players that Collingwood needed to take that next step to win a premiership. Do you agree on that?
Yep. No, 100%. It was like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Moneyball. It's one of my favorite movies with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill about baseball. And there's algorithms, and for anyone who hasn't seen it, they use algorithms to pick not the best players, but players that'll help them in certain areas. Bobby Hill kicked 3 on the weekend. He's done that a couple of times. Billy Frampton, like we're talking about with Manny, wouldn't get a game probably anywhere else. And this is his third
Agreed.
club. And he's been able to do things for us that we didn't think were possible. Dan McStay as well, and of course Tom Mitchell. It's been a big Moneyball Collingwood outfit. And like Bo McCreary, he was from memory, he was picked 63 or something ridiculous, very late in the draft. We pick him up, and he's probably one of the first picked on the team. He's not going to get 30 disposals, but he'll fucking get 30 tackles in a game if he could.
Correct. It's unreal. Just another quick question, Swoop, about
go ahead, man.
What are your thoughts on like the sling tackle, and it's been massive during the week, and obviously two of the best players in each, or one of the best players in each team, as Zach Merritt and Tate Adams, are both out this week. Yep. Your thoughts on what happens from here on in? Does every person that does a sling tackle get suspended from here, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, it's a hard one, right? I like to think of myself as a pragmatist. I think that's the word, sort of what I'm looking for, where I see things like look, you can't, they've said it, you just can't sling tackle. It doesn't matter if you've got, it doesn't matter if you've got 3 players falling on top of the guy. It doesn't matter if the player doesn't get injured or concussed. If you sling, you get a week. That's just, it is what it is. They're trying to take that out of the game. I understand concussion, but then you see things like, and I don't know if you've seen it, you probably have, Clayton Oliver in round 3 does a sling tackle, doesn't get suspended. So now it's not only sling tackles get suspended, it's the match review panel and Michael Christensen not being consistent. I think the thing that I'm the most frustrated about in the Tate Adams case, and just any of them, is that there's just no consistency. That from week to week, there's absolutely no consistency. And that's why people are taking it to the tribunal, because some people get off, some people don't. You don't know, right?
Correct. The Jordan De Goey in the practice match against he slung tackled the Hawthorn ruckman. Yeah. Being by, he should have got 2 weeks.
100%. If he does that now, he's out.
Correct. So I don't get it either.
But Nath, that's what it is. There's just no consistency, and that's what's so frustrating. Like, what was that guy that just did? He copped 4 weeks for Broad from Richmond.
Nathan
copped
Broad,
4 weeks for whatever he did, the tackle or the shit. I can't remember whatever it was.
It was a dump after
the dump line, right?
Yeah.
But then Caminiti hits a player 100 meters behind play, or 80 meters, but whatever it was. And it wasn't intentional. It was careless, and it goes down to 3 weeks, which is 1 week less than what Nathan Broad did. And I'm pretty sure Broad's player didn't get concussed, I think, or whatever it was. So, and now we've lost Nathan Murphy for a week, right?
Very inconsistent. The tribunal is just, and I was listening to, I was watching the First Take on Foxtel the other night, and they said, the tribunal, we are the only sport in the world to have a tribunal like this that is pretty much like a fake law. They're going to contest, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It is just,
and I reckon you could ask any supporter on any of the 18 teams, and they'll tell you the same thing. It's the inconsistency that's the most frustrating. When there's a bump to the head, stop becoming a bump to the head and become suspendable for some and not suspendable for others. It's
correct.
It's It's crazy. I think Michael Christensen needs to go. I think there needs to be a huge overhaul, and I reckon the AFL knows that, and I feel like something is definitely coming.
Yep, I definitely agree, mate.
Tell me about Anzac. Tell me about Anzac Day. How do you see it playing out?
Look, to be honest, mate, we're the better team on paper. Personally, if we had our best 22, I think we've got about 7 of our best 22 out in Darcy Cameron, Dan McStay, Taylor Adams, Pat Lipinski would be in there, even though
Pat Lipinski would be in there. Yep.
I'm just a little bit worried about the two talls, the two twin towers in Phillips and Draper. They're in form. Essendon are a good momentum team. I don't see them there in the nitty gritty at the end of the year. But if they get a run on, who knows, mate? Really, it's going to be a very interesting and tough game. I reckon. And your thoughts? What do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, that's in my preview. I talk about that exact thing. Draper and Phillips, that's going to be their money. That's going to be exactly what they're trying to exploit with us, especially with Kruger, who has 2 bad shoulders, is very underdone. But that's when you get desperate. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. You got to.
Does he play? Does he play though?
Has to
play.
Yep. Because what happens is Draper rests forward. He kicks 3 goals.
Yep.
And we need Billy Frampton there to kind of. Or Phillips does that. And like the beauty about Essendon is that their delivery inside 50 isn't that good, and they haven't got super big tools, but they've got dangerous medium-sized players. Stringer, so Quaynor's going to have to play his heart out. Darcy Moore and No Murphy and No Howe really, really stuff us. But I think. Look, I've already conceded that we get smashed in the center with ruck taps. But I think we pick it up around the ground, and we play like teams played when we were having Grundy. Give Grundy 70 taps, but make them your clearances.
Correct. I thought Billy Frampton against Rowan Marshall on the weekend was absolutely unreal. Absolute warrior, just competes. Yep. Like you said before, wouldn't get a game anywhere else, but put him in our culture, our system, and he's absolutely killing it.
I agree. I love him. He was always that guy that was probably going to be the whipping boy. And as much as Jeremy Howe's injury is unfortunate, now Billy Frampton has got 15 weeks to get 15 AFL games as opposed to 15 good VFL games. He's getting, he'll go up against Curnow and Mackay in a few weeks. He's got to go up against Walker and Fogarty next week. He'll go up against Stringer and whoever else this week. So he's getting really good. He's getting a really good look at it. And like you said before, it's money ball. And it's going to be, it's going to be really exciting. This you going?
100%, mate. Wouldn't miss it for anything. Like they're 2 teams that I like just on the list every year to beat. The Bombers and the Blues. They're the 2 that. Yeah, just need to beat those 2. That's all. If we won 2 games of the year, they're the only 2 that we'll have to win. So
100%.
You going or?
Yeah, I'll be there, mate. Maybe we can go to grab a drink beforehand.
Done deal, mate. Awesome.
Too easy. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Cheers, brother. Nice to speak to you.
Bye.
See you, mate. Bye.
Yeah, you too. See you, mate. Bye. Oh, all right. I'm going to answer some questions that were popping in. It's been fun. Yeah, I forgot how much fun, how fun these were. We've been going for half an hour, so we won't go for too much longer. I've got a couple more people on that we'll have a chat to. Lots to talk about Bo, since we mentioned him. Absolutely love Bo. Okay, Boomer from Black Rod. I wish your name was a little bit shorter, but that's all right. How do we think Bobby and Ginny will feed each other? So we saw Bobby set up Ginnivan's first goal. Which was cool to see. There was always, can they play in the same team? Can they not? And it's good that obviously they were going to always play in the same team. And it's exciting. Like, I get a little bit giddy with excitement just talking about it. We finally got 2 really, really good small forwards. Ginnivan can do things that Bobby Hill can't do. Bobby Hill can do things that Ginnivan can't do. And that's the beauty about them. They're like jigsaw pieces, right? Going into a jigsaw puzzle. What else? I saw a couple other ones. Leave some questions in here if you want to ask me anything. Lots of Khan the Woods. That's nice. Who do you guys reckon is going to win the Anzac Day medal? You'll see who I reckon in the preview. Yeah, here we go. UG says probably had 12 disposals at 91% efficiency, plus 3 goals. Awesome on Sunday. Could not agree more. Highlights in it say, hey, Swoop, do you think Kruger and Frampton will go? I assume this means in ruck together. Yeah, like we've just been talking about, I think they'll interchange. I think Frampton stays a little bit more in the defensive 50. But like Nathan said, he did exactly what he needed to do against Marshall. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like what Manny says, they put Kruger down back for a little bit just to, the thing with Darcy Cameron and Mason Cox that no one really mentions a lot of is, yes, okay, they can play forward. They're good ruckmen or decent, very good ruckmen, but they float back and take defensive 50 marks. How many times was Cameron and Mason Cox marking it off the half back line at the start of the season and last year as well? That's what they do. That's what they do best. That's why we miss them so much. All right, 3 more. We'll get Kev on next. Thumbs up if you're ready to go, Kev. All right, his thumbs are up.
Swoop, how
Hey,
you
mate.
going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, Kev. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Just chilling
Tell
at the
me.
moment.
Oh, nice, mate. Tell me, how do you feel this season's gone so far?
Yeah, good. I think we'll probably lose 2 or 3 games, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I think apart from the Brisbane game, that was a bit disappointing. We did pretty good. I hate this in particularly that we have to wear a clash against Richmond, Essendon, Carlton, but yet when it's our home game, they don't wear one, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, I made mention of that on my social medias. It's a bit annoying. Look, I understand that Collingwood have the black on white stripes and the white on black stripes. We play that the all white jersey and the white shorts. That's pretty much our clash, and that works for most of every. Oh, interesting. Most of every single other team that we play against. This Essendon one annoys me because Essendon are the away side, and you think that the away side would wear an away jersey, and it just doesn't look good on TV, and it doesn't look good when you're up level 4 in the stands. But what can you do, mate? We don't get paid to make these decisions. We leave that to the administration.
No, but I do wish the AFL had to grow a pair of balls and actually make these teams wear a clash. Because you see it all the time. You see Carlton wear a clash against St Kilda, Port Adelaide as well. Richmond and Essendon, they wear one against each other, and they wear one against St Kilda, Port Adelaide, and Adelaide. So I don't see why they can't not wear it against us, which disappoints me.
I agree.
But the white shorts, like to me, the white shorts doesn't always handle a clash better. The Guernseys, because Richmond's all black, so is Essendon. Carlton's a dark navy blue jumper. It does, it is a darker Guernsey, and that's where it does cause a lot of clashes. And people might say, oh no, but you should be able to tell. Well, not really, because the numbers are white. Now, when you have numbers of white, you're not going to go by the whole stripe thing as well. So I do think that the AFL need to pull their heads in with that. But apart from that, I do think that we'll beat Essendon on Anzac Day, and I think
that's good. That's good.
I'm definitely going. I don't know if my sister is or not, but I think it'll be about 25 points. So I do think that will definitely.
That's a decent win.
Get them.
Decent win.
I do think now that if Cox doesn't play, then it has to be Kruger. But I do feel like
Cox is definitely not playing.
Okay, so that's been confirmed, has it?
Yep.
All right, so Kruger will have to come in. I think AJ as well. I don't mind him that he does jump for the ball, but I feel like with him sometimes, like he's not as clean as what he could be, even below his knees. He does struggle a little bit in that area. But I do think our ball movement has been good. I feel like that we're playing a lot better football than we were last year as well. And yeah, I definitely can't wait for Anzac Day, to be honest.
Oh, a 25-point win is a good win, which would be nice. I said 4 points, so fingers crossed. Who do you think, before we go, who do you think is going to win the Anzac Day medal?
Jordan De Goey or Nick Dacos. Either of those two.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's I have a bit of a different one. I won't spoil it. It'll be on my preview tomorrow. But yeah, I think Nick Dacos could be a shoe-in. But look, Kev, if we can win by 25 points, mate, that'll be very, very nice.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
All right, Kev. Thanks for the chat, mate. I'll talk to you soon.
Sorry, mate. Talk to you later, mate.
See you, brother. Bye.
See you, brother.
Bye. All right, we got someone that is new to Fancams. Is a newly minted Collingwood supporter. We'll get him a new hat soon. But welcome, Faz.
Swoop, my man, how are you?
Good, mate. How you going?
Pretty good. Look, I just want to. I'm not a Collingwood fan, but I'm a big fan of yours. So I thought I'd jump on and just give you a bit of a pat on the back. Anzac Day, mate. It's one of my favourite games of the round because you can look at it one of two ways. You say, oh, one of Collingwood, the rest of them got to win, but I look at it this way: one of you's have got to lose. So I couldn't be
pretty
happier,
happy either way.
To be honest, to be honest, I'm hoping you guys do a Essendon supporters just get a little bit of this, and all of a sudden it's turned and I see they're flag favourites or they're in the premiership window or whatever it is now. I'd love nothing more than the crash back down to earth on Anzac Day. So
as a Carlton supporter, seeing and you guys are top four, obviously, seeing us for football. Us in the top four, us, you, and even Essendon to a certain extent is really good. It is really good. We all get up and about. But as a Carlton supporter, who do you want to see fail more? Because obviously you hate both teams, but who do you want to see fail more?
Look, it's an interesting one. It's a generational thing. I dead set think it's a generational thing. I think you ask a lot of people my dad's era. They'd say Collingwood. He said, no, he hates Collingwood more than anything in the world. But for me, dead set growing up, it was Essendon. I just can't stand Essendon. And I don't know why. I mean, maybe the 2000s, when they were great. I mean, there was something about them that I just... Look, it's literally 51%, 49%, but probably just Essendon, just a little bit more. I don't mind seeing them implode a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, no, and that's what they've been doing for the last few years. But how do you see, as a neutral, how do you see Anzac Day sort of playing out with everything that you've seen so far this season?
Yeah, look, I've been pretty bullish on some of the things I do with Pommy and Oz and stuff, and some of the Carlton stuff. I get absolutely slammed for it all the time, but I think Collingwood playing the best footy in the comp, and I think if it wasn't for their jumper, they're probably the best team to watch. So, how I think it'll play out, I genuinely believe it's only a matter of time before this Essendon honeymoon period completely capitulates.
Okay.
Think about, last year, was it Collingwood, Carlton, Hawthorn, all undefeated, whatever, flying, and then Carlton's wheels fell off, and obviously you guys went on with it, but Hawthorn's obviously fell off. The new coach bounced. So I genuinely believe it could be as soon as this week. I can't see them getting nears, to be honest.
Really? Even with all our outs?
Even because the way you play, man, like their names on a page. The way you guys play, you could have someone named John Smith jump in tomorrow, but you've got such the system. You got such the system that I think it doesn't matter who comes in.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier on before you jumped on. The Craig McRae, it's very next man up. We can have the 44th player jump in and know his role exactly right. Like there was a lot of, like we've been saying, Billy Frampton detractors who, he doesn't get a game. He's played 3 clubs. He's washed up. He comes in and plays the exact role that we need him to play. Same with Bobby Hill. Same with Dan McStay. It is, and I guess biased, but I'll try to be as unbiased as I can. It is exciting to watch. It's, that champagne Russian roulette football is exciting. And we see a lot of teams starting to sort of replicate that now.
Yeah. And I think it's, the Brisbane game is an interesting one. I think if I were a Collingwood supporter, I'd be looking at it this way. You live and die by the sword and you died by your sword.
Yeah.
Fine. That's fine. There's nothing worse than when teams go away from what they know and get beaten. At least you got beaten by doing your thing. So I think that's the way to look at it there. But excited, yeah. My dad's disowned me that many times because I keep saying I love watching the Collingwood games. You know, deep down, and I'm being honest, I hope you lose like games, not this week, but I hope you lose games.
Course.
But Jesus, it's good to watch. It's so good to watch.
No, that means a lot coming from you, mate. I appreciate it.
No, all good. And love your work, mate. Love your work.
No,
keep up the stuff and
yours.
Enjoy our Twitter
love
banter,
yours too, mate. Nah, peace, man. Thank you so much. Have a good one, Faz. See you, mate. Bye. All right. I love that. A little bit of extra supporters on there. Absolutely love Faz. Pommy and Oz, Blue Abroad, you know, I won't be where I am today without them. Even if you hate Carlton with all your fucking heart, like we all do, you know, go give them a watch. Pommy and Oz does. He's the hardest. Let me tell you that Pom is the hardest working content creator in this caper. I'm telling you right now, he does. Like he's not even here, and I'm talking that much about it. He does everything to 120%. So go on Pommy and Oz channel, chuck him a subscription, comment on his latest video, tell him I sent you, tell him that we love him as well on the Swoop Luke channel. All right, two more people. I wish we had fucking players on here. Two more people, and we'll jump on. Sush, tell me when you're ready to go, mate. Dope. Let's do it. Sushi.
G'day.
How you going, mate? Long time no speak.
Yeah.
How you going?
Yeah, pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. How have you you've enjoyed this season so far?
Yeah, it's been good to watch.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? What's been your favourite game to watch this season?
Probably been the Cats round 1.
Yeah. And did you have us third on the ladder from in the first 5 rounds?
Yeah, I had us beating the Cats.
You had us beat the Cats. What about this week against Essendon?
Yeah, I'm tipping them by a couple goals.
Oh man, everyone's tipping them by a couple of goals. I've only tipped them by 4 points, so I'm a bit more nervous than everyone is, I guess. But I think that just comes with the territory. Who do you think is going to win the Anzac Day medal?
Nick Dacos.
Yeah, I reckon he's paying about $2.50 to win the Anzac Day medal. Who do you think? What do you think about all these injuries? You're on mute, Sush. You're on mute.
I need to go for tea. I'll hop on after.
All right. Hey, I'll talk to you later. Thanks, Sush.
Yeah,
Have a good one, man. Bye. All right. Last one. UG. Mate, you back? Nah, still no mic. Still no microphone. Nah. Bit of tech. We'll come back. We'll come back to you. All right. Mostradamus, which is a really cool name, by the way. Mostradamus. I love that so much. Agreed, Swoop's going to be very close. I wish I was more confident, but with all the injuries, it will take. See, and that's what I mean. It's all the injuries that's really, you know, if we didn't have this McStay, Murphy, even without Taylor Adams, if we didn't have McStay and Murphy, I think I'd be a lot more confident than I am now. But we don't. And that's why I've only got us winning by 4 points. But I've got my preview video coming out tomorrow, which will explain a little bit more in depth about all that.
All right,
we got you. Yes, yeah. I can hear you.
All right, yeah. No, I just had to go back in, go out and then back in. So obviously,
all good. Yep. Let's get your.
Yep.
I don't know if I've talked about it before. Let's get your breakdown of Anzac Day. How's it going to go?
I really think that it's actually going to be a bit of a interesting one, to be honest, because a lot of Essendon tools really sort of scare me at the moment. I mean, not like literally, but you know, just in terms of a football sense. But like, yeah, I think that's going to be the difference in between if we win it or lose it. It just depends how much impact we let them have. But I feel like outside of that, our midfield is far better than Essendon's.
Yeah.
And I feel like our ball movement's a lot better. And I think Faz ended up actually saying it pretty well. Like our system is like one of the best systems. But I think as well too, like not to take away any credit too, but like, you know, even just like even though like, you know, if you do put in just that random player, but I feel like a lot of the guys coming through do have a lot of talent coming through. Like I feel like even some like a Carmichael or a Finn, those two guys can't even get a game at the moment, but you put them in and you give them like say 6 games in a row, like they'll probably average like, you know, over 20 disposals. So you can't like there are some players that, you know, are probably coming in as your 6th and 7th midfielder can't really do that, if that makes any sense. And I feel like even with like Carmichael too with his preseason, I feel like he's like 10 times a player than he was last year, but it's hard for people to know because he's been
because you don't really see them.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree.
Yeah. And
how much? Oh, sorry, no, go ahead.
No, so I was just about to say, like, so with like the changes and stuff, because I put in the comments and stuff, and again, I'm gonna have to go off the top of my head, but I think I had 4 changes, because I think it was like 3 forced and then 1 natural, because I feel like Wilson, I felt like he struggled a bit, and I just don't know where he sort of stands, and I feel like he's probably going to be the out for Kruger, and then Murphy, Adams, and McStay. So I feel like it's going to be probably going off the top of my head. I think it was, I said in the comments, I need to like scroll up to see if I can find it, but I think it was Finn, Rusco, Kruger, and then I forgot who the other one was. Oh, Degoe, yeah, because he comes straight back
obviously.
In. And then I think I had Markov or Carmichael as a sub because I feel like you need a bit of run. But then if Carmichael goes in, he gives you that little bit of midfield and he sort of plays all positions because he runs all around the ground. Where Markov gives you that run off halfback, which we actually might need. It is going to be a really interesting game because I feel like it can give us a bit of a scare, but then at the same time, I feel like from where we're at, we also just have to win games like these because I feel like if we're going to be treated seriously for a flag,
have to.
You just have to win it. Like it's just one of those things where it's like, don't care what the technique is. We don't care how we do it. We just got to get it done. And I think when you want, as I said, when you want to be serious contenders, that's just what you just have to do. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. You just do it.
That's exactly what I say in my preview. You just got to, doesn't matter how dirty and ugly it is, you just got to win.
And then
I agree.
And then even because even just this year, like we've improved so much. Like there's no reason why we can't go a few steps further. Like I mean, and I actually appreciate the Frampton talk tonight. Like the fact that people finally giving Frampton his credit. Like because I've been on that bandwagon since pretty much the rumors in terms of picking him up, let alone actually picking him up. So and also for those that are on Twitter, like when I do have the gifs of him being a goat, like it is a bit of a joke, but but then at the same time, I mean, he is playing really good football.
He is. No, I 100% agree, mate. I can't talk about his his role in the team and what he's been able to do enough. It's been fantastic. And you're on Twitter, you follow me and we chat, and you see it. I've been saying it since even before we drafted him, traded for him, and I've been one of his, or we've been one of his biggest supporters, and he's proven us right. I love getting proven right. A lot more than I love getting proven wrong.
Yeah. Well, also as well, like not to probably mention my background too much, but having obviously played football myself, I've been in part of environments, like fairly professional environments, and also going through stuff myself that's not football related, but then in a football context. I feel like that, I don't know, there's just that sense of like, I feel like I just have a level of understanding that a lot of players or people in general just don't have, like with Frampton, like how he was treated at Adelaide. And then sort of like sifting through the leaves, if that's the saying of, what's actually happening. Is he playing well because he just doesn't have the talent, or is he not playing well because of something behind the scenes?
system,
Is that
yeah.
mental health? Is that a lack of system, or is the system too good and he's being found out? Like, what was the reason why he wasn't playing senior footy? Because in the reserves, like, I mean, I don't know if people know this, but
he was
like
smashing in the reserves.
Yeah, in the reserves, he was averaging 85% disposal efficiency. So, for someone that's supposed to be your defender, and and that's the thing. I think I even said, like, if you want to compare him to anybody, he's basically a mix between a Darcy Moore and a Jordan Roughhead, in the sense where he's better than Roughhead, but he's not as good as Moore. But then he has like the two sort of roles mixed together.
I agree.
I think with the ins and outs and stuff, I think we'll have probably about 4. Like, I went and saw training today. Kruger is our main ruck. Like, that's just as obvious as clear as day. I mean, obviously, like, injuries are probably a bit of a it's not ideal, but I think we can work with it, and I think that's also a credit to obviously Wright as well too, with the fact that under the previous management, the fact that we have these injuries, we probably wouldn't have had the depth, and we probably would be losing the next probably month or so, if we had the coach and the previous coach and those involved. But
definitely,
it's a great
so let's just, before we wrap up, I want to answer this last question, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Nathan Couchy, who we just had on, says you make absolute sense, which is amazing. But can we speak a bit about? Can we speak a bit about Markov's first 2 games? I'll let you take the first swing of this.
Yeah, so Markov is sort of, I mean, with the first game, like, he had a disposal efficiency of 55%. So when it's kind of a tough one, because it's like, I think because you have someone like a John Noble that plays the role that he does, his disposal efficiency is up around 85%. And then sometimes it can fluctuate. So some games it might be 90, some games it might be 80. So obviously he's probably not doing it to the level of Noble. But it's also hard to know too, because like sometimes it is that, he's played, I think, 2 games now. I think the last game he played was sub, so not even really.
It was the Brisbane game.
So it's hard to sort of get a gauge on it. But sometimes as well too, even with like, because I feel like it happened with Carmichael, where when he was sub, he played a lot better than he would in like a full game. So that's why I was suggesting even Markov being a sub, because you get to run off half back, but also as well too, and also the fact that if you have fresh legs, not only can you run out of game, but you're not as fatigued when you kick the ball. So then the chances of kicking the ball is actually going to be higher. So if you're gonna run out of game, you get to the fourth quarter and you're absolutely just stuffed. If you're gonna kick the ball, like you're too tired.
Too wrecked to kick it. Definitely.
So I think, and I think that's what happened with Carmichael last year. So, but he came back in ripping form in terms of fitness. So, I think for me it's one of those 2 for sub. But then also as well too, it can even be used as a crux, because I think we used it for. I'm trying to think who we used it for, who came back through injury. I'm struggling to think of who it was, but it can be used for someone who's like coming off an injury, and if they're not like fully fit, you can then
just give them a quarter and a half or something. I agree. I rate Markov with what he's able to do off that half back. I love his speed. That is exactly our game. We saw it a little bit in the Brisbane game, where he's running off half back, trying to create when we were down anyway, so it didn't ultimately matter. But you saw it a little bit more in the St Kilda game. He's only played a game and a half in the system properly. I'd still give him a little bit more time. I trust him with the ball. But he's kind of just like, it's kind of just like having 2 John Nobles in the side, pretty much, because Johnny Noble can run, and he just for that run that they generate and the attack on the ball, and they're more attacking defenders than they are defenders.
It's actually really funny, like, now that we're speaking about Noble, because like I was even thinking he's actually, and I know some people might take this the wrong way, but I do sort of mean this as in terms of a good sort of like combination. But he sort of reminds me of a Noble and then a Madge at the same time. So it's a guy that it's sort of a guy that's like sort of, a guy that sort of tries his heart out, and he actually does okay when he actually has the right role to play. And yeah, it's just a matter of, because you kind of see it where sometimes it can just be a confidence issue, and it's just more trying to get him on the same page, and sometimes it can take a game, sometimes it can take 10, so but yeah, I can't remember what the second game was, but yeah, he came off the first one with 55%, which isn't great, because you'd want it around, like, you can accept 70%, I guess, depending on the situation, but anything below that isn't necessarily great.
No, I agree.
But yeah, but I do like him, but I think it is that sort of match situation where it's like it feels like in terms of cementing a spot in the side, he's treading water a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But in saying that, I mean, but then in saying that, he can definitely hold his own. So I'm not like, for someone that can tread water, he's pretty good. But then to be cemented in the 22, it's a bit sort of like touch and go. But then that's what happens. Yeah, but then that's what happens when you get the guys that come back through injury. He then goes back down to the reserve. So
yeah, exactly.
He's basically doing his role.
Exactly. UG, thank you so much for coming on, man. Always enjoy chatting with you. I'll see you around, mate. I'll talk to you on Twitter probably. So have a good one, brother. See you, mate. All right, guys. That wraps up the first Fancam Squawk with Swoop for this season. I'll try and do them more often. Like I said, it's really difficult getting to a game an hour after it finishes, and I'm just wrecked by that time. But look, I'll try and do it maybe, hopefully once a fortnight. We'll try and get it. We'll try and get them up. Probably not after games, but once a fortnight, midweek or something, to have a chat. Keep an eye on my socials for that. But until then, I appreciate you all. Thank you for all joining me for this hour. I need another coffee. I need some water, and I need some sleep. I appreciate you all. My preview comes out tomorrow. As always, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I love ya. I'll sweep you later.